Hi, welcome to Week 5. This is the Week 5 weekly podcast for the ENH295 Banned Books and Censorship class. Okay, so we finished reading Annie on My Mind. Let me get my little props here. And we are now moving on to some different books written by Nancy Garden. So I posted an announcement last week for you all to sign up and let me know what books you have chosen. And right now, we can only have 5 people per book. So for the most popular book, Endgame, Wilson, Jocelyn, I think this is Brandon, he has his MEID, and then Savannah. Okay, so those 5 people will be reading Endgame. And then we have Awake, which is the book that I chose to read this time. Last semester I read 2 other books, but this time I wanted to read Endgame because it was the only book that was available for my Kindle, and it was pretty cheap. It was, I think, $6 maybe? Can't remember. But anyway, I started reading. I'm on chapter 6. I'm excited. It's interesting. I mean, I like it as much as you can like a adolescent lit novel, but I think that the stories, it's a multiple storybook that are being told are definitely rewarding and important stories for adolescents to read. Okay, so we only have myself, Amanda, and I believe the MEID is Moriana, MOR2120820. Oh, and Ethan. So there are 4 of us reading Awake. So that leaves 1 spot. Actually, there's 2 spots. I don't count myself as a spot. So 2 spots available for Awake if you haven't chosen. Then we have The Year They Burned the Books. This one, I really enjoyed this book last year, and you might enjoy it as well. But I found it on sale online somewhere for like $2. Can you see that price tag on there? $2. So that's nice. And that was a good book too. And it doesn't focus on a love story. So if you're over that, you can have something a little different to read. So the people reading The Year They Burned the Books are Yelena, Sarah, I don't know who this is, but it's BRI2105564. It's either Brianna or Brian, and then David and Elizabeth. That one is closed, although I didn't catch Jessica in time to warn her that she missed out on the spot, only the first 5. So if she wants to use that book, there's a 10% penalty, but for not following directions, basically. But if you want to choose something else, there's no penalty, and you still have until today to choose. So Jessica needs to make a decision soon. Okay, then we have Good Moon Rising, and like I said in the announcement, Good Moon Rising is a lot like Annie on My Mind. So if you really enjoy that and you want to read something similar, just different characters, I mean, the storyline's different, but it is just a teen romance. And then the last book choice is Hear Us Out. And again, that is a collection of stories and poems and so forth. And only Alexa, I have that book. I read that one last year, and I don't have a copy with me right now, but that was interesting. I really enjoyed reading all the different types of genre, the poetry and so forth. So that is still open. So the only people I really haven't heard from are Nikki, Mike, and Brooke. They did not participate in this little discussion to choose a book. So if you're going to choose, you need to get in there and let me know which one. Remember, Endgame and The Year They Burned the Books are taken. So if you want a spot with the others, they are open. Okay, so what else are we going to do this week? Okay, so I'm changing things up a little bit for this semester, only because you guys are doing a really good job in the discussions, and we're supposed to have one more discussion in this module. And we will have that discussion, but I'm going to require less participation in the discussion because I would really like for you all to participate in a little project that I want to do. Now, if you aren't aware of it, next week is Banned Books Week. September 24th through October 2nd is Banned Books Week. And if you are familiar with Banned Books Week, a lot of different activities happen on Banned Books Week. And one of the things that I thought would be interesting, because we're focusing in on this particular unit on adolescent lit books, focusing on gay and lesbian themes, that maybe we should share a website with some of the information that we've been gathering so others can sort of get involved and understand and learn more about these books that are banned and why we all feel that they shouldn't be banned. So I'm going to set up a blog that will be called the Banned Books blog for our class, and then I'm going to invite you all to share some content to that blog. Now the content is really up to you. The least effective way to share content is just to add some text, and you can even share some of your journal posts that you've written previously. Obviously that won't weight as much as if someone did something a little more creative. It's up to us to decide what we want to do. We could do Creative Commons search and find some images that we can share. We can share our favorite It Gets Better videos. I almost forgot what they were called. We could create our own video, but the sole purpose of the site would be to share information about banned books and our focus for this module, which was the gay and lesbian literature. And we want to send a message out to our audience and then we decide what the message is. If we're not in agreement with what the message is, we can have several messages. For instance, a lot of us agreed that Annie on My Mind was an appropriate book for teenagers to read, but maybe not all levels should read it. And then other people came in and said, well, it wasn't explicitly sexual or anything that would sort of discount maybe a fourth grader or even a third grader reading the book if they were mature enough. And I think the message is that it's really up to the parents to decide. But for us, we also are in agreement that some of these works, the reason that they're being banned is because of someone's personal agenda, personal opinion about what those books might mean to them or to their family or to their children. But we think that if students are given options and choices as to what they want to read, that maybe it could help eliminate some of the problems that teenagers are having. So my only suggestion is that you decide what it is that you want to present. Now I'll break it out and tell you what it'll be worth in terms of points and so forth, but if you're not really motivated by the project itself and you're only motivated by how many points you're going to earn by doing this, we're really missing the point there. So you do have some journals that will be due this week and next week. You can share those journals, and as you write those journals, you could be thinking in mind that I'm going to post them as my journal for the course, but I'm also going to maybe share this one with the public so that everybody can read it and learn from me. Also, think about creating some original content. I would love to see some videos, some audio, a podcast, anything you think might be appropriate to get our message across. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm going to be sharing not only a group, which we will all be part of the group, but I will also share a blog with you. So it'll be very similar to your own personal blog for the course, but the only difference is that everybody has the same editing privileges and everybody can post and create pages and so forth. Okay, so we're going to be working on this for the next 2 weeks, but we want to get something started so that we can at least open it up next week and start sharing it with the general public by next Monday, which is the 26th. So that gives us a week, and if everybody can post at least one thing right away, that gives us a site that we can start decorating and sharing. So the other difference is that because everyone will not be participating in the same discussion forum, and this is the discussion on the books that you're reading, I'm going to set those discussion forums up in groups as well. So it won't be in a discussion tab like you're used to. It'll be in, let me go there so I can see what it's called. It'll be in what we call the forums. Groups and forums are two tabs on the course network that we haven't really used yet. They're integrated together. You can't create a forum until you create a group. So I'm going to create a group for each of the book, and then within that group I'm going to create a forum, and then you're going to participate in there. So these discussions will be a little less formal, and you're not required to post a minimum of 5 times this time, because some of those points that I'm going to give you for that discussion we're going to use for our Banned Books Week project. Okay, so more specifics on the project later, but for now let's get started with Week 5 activity. So I've already introduced the discussions, and again they'll be in a different place, but I'll put the links on the page. It just says coming soon right now, but when you check back after you've watched this, it'll actually have links to the groups. And then of course you will do blog posts. This will be your 5th journal. I'm in the process right now, it's Monday, of finishing up your journals, the last 2 journals, and also your rewrites if I knew or if I know you did a rewrite. Remember, you had to respond to my comment on the journal post in order for me to realize that you did a rewrite. So I'm going to be looking at those. And then again, I will give you one more chance to rewrite one more journal. So again, if journals 3 or 4 weren't up to par, they just weren't good enough, I'm going to give you one more chance to choose one of those. If you need more than one, you can only choose one to do another update. Because the goal is that you improve your writing and that you learn how to analyze literature. And if you only get one shot at it, you're not really learning. So I'm going to give you one more chance to learn, do better, and resubmit one more journal. And then after that, it's really nothing changes. It's just you picking a different topic and then analyzing based on that different topic or rhetorical term. Okay? Okay, so I've given you some more literary terms to look at. Characterization is one. There's a video on the page for you to read about characterization. Most of you have already done a characterization journal post, so that's fine as well. But don't forget to read the lesson, because the lesson on characterization is really good, I think. Okay, so don't forget to check your grades in InGrade. I've posted just a couple of things, but like I said, I'm working on the next set of journals, and you'll see those grades there. But the key thing is to keep participating in the discussions. I don't just say this every semester. I'm really enjoying reading the journal posts, or not journal posts. Well, I'm enjoying that too. But the discussions, you guys have done a really good job. Some very, very intelligent people in this class have been sharing some really good information. And I don't participate or respond to all the different posts that are in there, but I do read them. And the reason is this is your discussion, not mine. So I think a lot of students are often influenced by what my comments are. So every now and then I can't resist, and I'll add a little story or add a little 2 cents here and there. And in other times I come in and redirect. And I haven't had to do that a lot in this class, but one of the things that's really cool is that I have downloaded the Discuss app on my Android. And whenever I have new discussion posts, it says new Discuss comments. I can just click on that, and it doesn't really tell me who it is all the time. I can see Melanie, but for those of you that don't have Discuss accounts, I only see anonymous until when I go to the website I can see who it is. But then I can click on that and read that from wherever I am. It doesn't give me the option to reply, so that's part of the reason why I don't reply right away in some cases. But I do get to read them all the time, so it's kind of fun, because sometimes I'll be laughing and people will say, well, what are you laughing at? What are you reading? And I'm like, oh, I'm just reading my students participating in the discussion. So I am reading what you're writing, and I'm anticipating that you are carrying on the discussion within yourselves, and don't wait or rely on me to come in and make comments about things, because that's your job. And when I feel it necessary, that's when I go in. Okay? So keep up the good work with the discussion. I'll, again, send more information about the new project that we're going to take on. And hopefully we can teach somebody else something new with our project. All right. That's it for now. And I will be talking to you later in the week.